The state's largest police agency is back up and running tonight after a major security breach. State public safety workers are trying to determine the extent of a cyber attack on the DPS computer system. We have live team coverage for you. Investigator Lori Jane Gliha has been looking at exactly what documents were released, but we start with ABC 15's Mary Ellen Resendez.
Chris, we're just learning that DPS is asking for help from FBI's computer forensic experts. They're very determined to catch the hackers that breached their system.
We'd like to put these hackers out of business, quite honestly.
Shocked, embarrassed, and angered, DPS wants the hacking group LulzSec behind bars.
Let's be clear here. This is a cyber terrorist organization.
The anonymous hacking group hacked into DPS's computer system in protest to SB 1070. They released emails, phone numbers, and addresses to 7 officers, forcing at least one to leave his home. They also released documents on upcoming police operations.
Much like anybody at home that has a computer system and, gets a spam or email and downloads a virus, we suspect that's probably how this intrusion occurred.
Seems to be that it is limited in scope, basically to the email system, not necessarily a full hack.
DPS computer specialists have been able to narrow the breach down to the 7 officers, thinking they may have opened a spam email or all used an unsecure computer that let the hackers in.
We're going to have to evaluate each operation and see if the release of that information would somehow compromise the operation or jeopardize officer safety.
Overnight, DPS workers had to change passwords, creating tougher ones to keep hackers out. But DPS says the group LulzSec needs to be exposed.
We don't know what they're going to do next for their next hurrah, so to speak. So we'd like to put them out of business.
Now, DPS says it is odd that they were targeted for SB 1070. They're not a key player in the 1070 battle, and any parts of 1070 that would require their enforcement are being held up in federal court. Live in Phoenix, Mary Ellen Resendez, ABC 15 News.
Mary Ellen, thank you very much. And our live team coverage continues now with ABC 15 investigator Lori Jane Gliha in the newsroom. And Lori Jane, you've been looking through the documents to see what exactly has been released in this.
Yeah, Chris, well, we read through these documents so we could better understand the magnitude of what happened, so you can better understand what kind of information is out there. And we found lots of information in these files, everything from emails to officer safety alerts to documents pertaining to policy and procedure. Some of these documents dated as far back as 2007, but some are as current as this month. There are thousands of pages. We found briefings about border security and officer safety warnings. We found documents about gangs and how to identify certain gang tattoos. But we also found personal information being released, rosters, phone numbers, and passwords. Now, we are still looking through these documents, and at 6 o'clock I'm going to show you more of these documents and also show you some of the documents that came from law enforcement agencies from outside of this state. Live in the Satellite Center, I'm investigator Lori Jane Gliha, ABC 15 News.